Massey here at Next Level Guitar. How you doing? What we are going to do today is we're going to introduce you to a wonderful series where we are going to teach you how to jam over chord progressions. I'm going to not only break down what the chords are, but I'm going to take you through my concepts, and we're going to expand our horizons and our visibility on the fretboard from there. Let's look at the chords that we're going to play. We're in E minor, and we're going to use this really great voicing of an E minor 9 to start us. Take a look at this. This is an A13 chord, and we'll look at this voicing. Right away, we're getting into some really interesting shapes. So while we're going to do this, I must encourage you, please download the track, because then you've got this great track to play along to. And download the ebook as well, because the ebook is going to give you all the scales that I'm going to be talking about as we go through the lesson. Of course, I'm going to demonstrate them, and I'll give you very good, clear examples of how they're used. But at your own accord, you can put it right in front of you, and you'll know all of them across the fretboard. And then you'll have even more information right at your disposal as we go through the lesson. And we're going to add the beautiful use of the Dorian scale with everything. So this is a great way to play through both chords. I gotta say, the first emphasis when thinking about how to use the Dorian mode, anytime we can notice that we have a major 4 chord, and that is our A in this particular case. We can use Dorian over both chords every single time. It's a fail-safe option, it's a default setting, it's a good way to go, and it's going to sound really cool as we play this. So E Dorian comes from the D major scale. All a mode is a starting point within your major scale. So if you know your D major scales, if you're familiar with one that looks like this, all you have to do is focus on your E's within the scale. I can omit that first note, start from here. Technically, that's E Dorian. That's as easy as it goes. We're working around an E minor tonality. I'm going to reference the pentatonic scale just to make it easy on you. Right? We have this because that's what we're going to talk about using. The two together. So when I'm playing Dorian and I'm playing off of this shape, this is going to be the scale that I use, that I can focus on every single time, and I will always be right in the ballpark. Again, thinking of our E's. I'm going to start here. I'm going to go. And I'm going to follow it up with that chord. And you can really hear what that sounds like. You can get that tonality of that chord. So what we want to do then is, as we analyzed all our positions, and we recognize these different notes that we could use, right? And we get these cool sounds. Just mixing these scales together with our pentatonic concepts and ending on our E's. That's going to put some good focus in that position. But maybe you don't want to think of the whole scale. Let's condense it to a shorter version. Let's take a look at something like this. Something really, really easy like that, starting from my E. Now here's how we practice this. We can kick up the track, right? Or you can kick up the track and you could play that scale. Just to get comfortable with it. You could play a blues lick that you're really familiar with, whatever that is. But what we want to notice are those notes that take you outside of the box. These two notes here, right? This is outside of my pentatonic box. This is outside of my pentatonic box. Here's my E that's going to resolve me. Here's my other E that's going to resolve me. But with various techniques, maybe hammer-ons and pull-offs, I get some more of that really identifiable Dorian tonality. And that is a beautiful thing. Let's look in this position here. Now you might think, well, I don't know a D major scale in this position. Well, here's where the ebook is going to be fantastic for you. This is going to be really great. And I'm going to reference a shape that is referred to and looked at just like this. It's going to go 5, 7, 9, 5, 7, 9, 5, 7, 9, 6, 7, 9, 7, 8, 10, 7, 9, 10. Now this is still going to work for my Dorian tonality. And I'm going to focus on the E's within that. This is what we get in our schooled approach here. We're recognizing where all these notes are. I have an E there and I have an E there. Now this scale that started out like this can be condensed to, right? Now look at how when I play 3 notes per string, and I look at the relatable concept of my low to high pentatonic, look at those similarities there. There's a lot of good usage there. And we get the same exact tones using both scales. In fact, playing pentatonic, you get a couple of additional notes in there. So I can take these scale shapes now, and I can apply techniques and resolve them in a blues fashion, all by the way that I visualize the guitar. Again, I'm playing D major scales, focusing on my E's. That's all I'm doing, and that's all I have to do to establish Dorian. It's really a great way to go through it. Let's look at one other position, and then I'm going to kick up the jam track, and we're going to play to this, and I'm going to demonstrate various techniques and devices that you can use playing 3 notes per string. One other scale shape that is great looks just like this. I'm going to start from my E here. Now this is a nice little focus scale right within the shape. Right, look at all these notes that we have. Going up in pentatonic. So that's how I like to visualize things in this concept of mixing Dorian and the tonality of Dorian with my pentatonic scale. Again, we're playing D major scales and focusing on our E's. That's the most important thing. We don't have to get too crazy with that. Let's kick up the track and let's improvise a little bit, and we'll see what we have. I'll show you how I can demonstrate these. I'll talk as we go, and we'll also use some good techniques along the way. Try some picking techniques here. I love these patterns. And if you're a little bit unfamiliar with alternate picking, we'll break that down a little bit. I'm just repeating. Sounds good slow. Beautiful thing about a slow jam track, we can play any pace over it and it's going to sound okay. So if I go up here now and do that same lick, maybe descending, I mean, you break out of it and go into a pentatonic lick, it sounds pretty great. You're just sequencing some of those other techniques. Now these are some pretty general type of rock approaches really with the Dorian technique. When I use pull-offs, a lot of the time, you really have to exaggerate some of those emotions. Notice I've got the fingers down all the way on all those strings. I'm gonna really force them. I've got a clean tone. I got no excuses. But it's cool in itself. Now, thinking of my scale shape, remember I could use the whole thing, the whole scale shape in this position. Starting from the E. Going to be covered in there, and you could do these hammer-ons maybe. Just get your hands strong, you know, try to go as fast as you can. Pick, hammer, pick, hammer. Something like that's a great exercise to work on. Just we're working these skills in to develop improv and melody and feel, right? But we're establishing the tonality of Dorian the whole time, playing D major scales, landing on our E notes. That's all we're really trying to think of. We can sit and work these patterns being melodic the whole time. And we can take the attempt to maybe find and seek out new places to play the same thing within these concepts. And so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to demonstrate some pull-off techniques very slowly for you that you can practice, some more picking techniques that you can practice very slowly, and I think you'll have a really good couple of techniques and devices that you can use along the way. So one pull-off pattern that I really like, I'm going to go slow. Notice I do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Next note. Next string, rather. I'm going to try to speed it up. And that's how I would work that, just a little bit at a time. Go to the next scale position that you're comfortable with. That E note. Try that to be your first initial goal. Mix in a pentatonic lick. Get used to blending these two ideas together. We've got a couple of good devices going on so far. We've got E minor pentatonic study along with the usage of our E Dorian scale. Very simply said, it's your D major scale, but you're focusing on landing on the E's within it. But what I want you to do is I want you to kick up that track and just explore the options of these techniques. You've got two great uses of the scales, and you're going to have some fun sounds and really nice ways to navigate across the fretboard. We are just getting started. We've got a lot more to cover, but right away with these two concepts, you've got a lot of ammo and food for thought, and all you got to do is just get lost in the track and have a good time and make it your own. So thank you so much, and I'll see you on the next one.